is a nice place.
A lot of people fish here.
Yeah.
It is a nice place.
Terrible place to die, though, huh?
I think most places are terrible places to die. That's a
probably...
nice watch you got.
Oh, thank you. My grandfather gave it to me.
Welcome to Acting for Film and TV, brought to you by Lee WTV. I'm your host, Edd Schultz.
Who's he?
I'm Edd Schultz. I'm Edd Schultz.
What a weirdo.
Suggesting what? Yes.
And today, we're going to be talking about some of the tools of the trade. Now, before we do, I'd like to remind you that as an actor, you are involved in show business. There are two aspects to it, the performing side and the business side. Today, we're going to be talking about show tools of the trade. In the next episode, we'll be talking about business tools of the trade that you'll need to have. But first, I got an email from Cheryl from Allentown, Pennsylvania, whose question is, how do I get bookings?
Are you serious? What?
Well, let me say this. That first of all, there will be a future episode about how to get bookings. Second thing I want to mention about this is, don't be so quick to want to go get bookings, especially if you're a newcomer. If you're a newcomer, there are a number of things that you need to know before you get out there and start acting in film and TV. For example, let's say that you love cars, okay? And you decide, I want to be an auto mechanic. Okay, I love cars. I've been driving cars for years. I just love cars. That's fine. But do you really know how to fix cars?
But I'll do anything!
Are you serious? What?
If you want to be an auto mechanic, that's what you need to do. You also need, if you're going to open a business as an auto mechanic, you need to know some things about business. You're going to need to know about sales tax, business licenses, advertising and marketing, all of those things before you actually dive in. So if you're a beginning actor, be patient, watch these videos, watch other things online, and we'll talk about education in another episode as well.
Are you serious? What? Are you serious? What?
Okay, on to the subject at hand, show tools. Your very first tool, believe it or not, as an actor, is your body. That's right. What do you look like? Are you male? Are you female? Are you tall? Are you short? Are you old? Are you young? Are you thin? Are you heavy? Are you muscular? All of these factors will determine what kind of roles you're going to be able to play. For example, I would love to play Captain America. But guess what? I'm 5'6". I weigh about 150 to 160 pounds, and let's say I'm over 65. I'm not going to get a role as Captain America. I'd love to play Spider-Man. I'm way too old for something like that, so I can just forget that kind of role. So your first tool is going to be your body. What you do with your body, how you maintain it, that's going to go into determining what kind of roles you're going to be able to play. The next tool that you have is your voice. Do you have a high-pitched voice? Do you have a low James Earl Jones voice? Do you have one that's in the middle? Those are factors that are going to be important as well. That's why there are auditions for speaking roles, at least, because the director, the casting director, wants to hear your voice, hear how you express yourself. Some people have very boring voices. Some people have very interesting and exciting voices. Another part of your voice is, I don't care where you live in America, and I'm assuming most of my viewers are American. If not, then this is probably true for you as well. No matter where you live in America, whether you want to accept it or not, you have an accent. There are certain things, certain ways that you pronounce things that are pretty much determined by the environment in which you find yourself. For example, I come from New England originally, so I have a bit of a New England accent. Not a big one, because I haven't lived in New England for a long time, and because I've done a lot of public speaking throughout my life. So I've lost a lot of that accent. However, I do still have some. For example, if I have a question, I ask. If I'm not able to do something, I can't do it. So there are those subtle kinds of things. Also, for example, I park my car. I don't say it necessarily as I don't know what the word is that I want to use at this point. I don't say car, which is very typical of New England. I say car. I have a car. Now, if you come from, let's say, probably New Jersey, Philadelphia, it might be a car. I'm going to park my car. I need a glass of water. These are subtle things that you may not necessarily even realize you say yourself. Midwesterners, for example. The internet, dot.com. Now, I would say .com. Midwesterners, Ohio, around there, .com. Big difference there. So the role that you play may determine how you need to use your voice.
Unfortunate, but fix this.
And be aware of your accent. You might also be called upon to have a foreign accent, and that's a whole other episode in and of itself. We will not be talking about this in this episode. We will touch on it later.
Are you serious? What?
The next tool that you have is your face. Everybody has one. And your face, your look, will determine what roles you're going to get. Again. And not only, now one of the things, let me stop at this point and bring up something very important, and that is when we're talking about these different tools, we're talking about the style of the tool, for example, short, tall, things like that, and performance of the tool, what you do with that particular tool. Those are both very important aspects. So, with your face, as I said, everybody has one. You may have an old face, you may have a young face, all sorts of things. You may have a very handsome or beautiful face. You may have a kind of homely face. You may have a funny looking face. All of these will determine what kinds of roles you're going to be playing, what kind of roles you'll be accepted for. And what you do with that face. Your face has hundreds, maybe even thousands of muscles that do all kinds of things depending upon your mood, depending upon your emotions.
You're going to pay for this.
Are you serious? What?
Okay, that's all we have for today. As I said, the next episode will focus on business tools of the trade. Things like your headshot and resume. That's one of the most important business tools that you'll have. And for example, this is a headshot. This is not a headshot. What's the difference between this picture and this picture? This is a headshot. This is a high school yearbook picture. Look familiar? But these are things that you need to know if you want to succeed in show business, whether you are a hobby actor, a semi-pro, or a working actor. Well, that's all for now. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, send them to me either in the comments section below the video or directly on email at actingforfilmandtv@gmail.com. Bye for now. We'll see you next time.
Now, get out of here.